As a person who uses words for a living, I truly believe they have the power to change us. For example, I bet I can manipulate your emotions with just 2 words. Pay attention to what you feel here. I do. You're accepted. Pull over. I'm pregnant. Yes, and. Yes, and. You see, yes, and is a strategy that leaders use to keep the door open. We're going to do an activity with this improv exercise where your partner will say a sentence, then you will say yes, and. Then a sentence that builds upon that idea. Here's a leader's lesson. The challenge you're going to face when working with a group today is thinking that's too analytical. So often we just think in black or white. It's wrong or it's right. In the Lamborghini story I told you earlier, when mom wanted to ask the rich guy for a ride, do you remember what my first response was? No. Sometimes it doesn't matter if the idea is good or bad. It's just new and different. So we say no. And that's scary to me because psychologists have found that the older you and I get, the more likely we are to say no. And the world that we work in today, it requires much more creative thinking than ever before. Yes, and forces us to be more creative. Here's an intangible of leadership. If people feel listened to, they're so much more likely to share good ideas in the future. And not rejecting ideas, that's the secret behind yes and. The people that come to you are the people who trust you. And that trust is developed because you don't reject their ideas right off the bat, and they feel safe. Now, whether you actually use the words yes and, or something like, sure, what's right with that idea? Or let's talk more about how that could work. That's how you can keep conversations going and keep that door open. And that's where you're going to start uncovering ideas that other people might not even see. Here's your action item. When someone gives you an idea, stop thinking about all the reasons it won't work and start thinking, with this unexpected idea, how could this work? You see, the best leaders, they leave the door open.